Welcome dear students uh, to the Android Lab session 2. So in this the second term work that we have is create an application with multiple activities and a simple menu using the list view. So here in the first video in the first lab assignment we have already completed where we have seen that we have created a hello world program or a hello world application we can say. So where we have seen that there was only one activity, but in this second assignment we want to create two activities, or you can say multiple activity means you can have two or three activities, and also we need to have the application of this list view. So let us understand the problem statement, and then we can move ahead with the implementation of part by writing the code. So as we all know that in an application or in an Android application, we can call them as the activities. Like if you take a web application, so we call them as the pages. So every Android application will have its main activity or activity can say. So here our objective is to what? We need to create a activity here, okay, and then we need to have another activity. Okay, so let us say that there are two activities, activity and activity B, and they are telling us to demonstrate how we can create multiple activities and how we can connect them. Okay, so I need to connect from activity A to activity B, and also in the another activity. So that is like activity B, we need to show the list view. So what is the list view, how we can connect, everything will discuss now. So let us consider that this is one activity that we have, and here we can have two views, or we can say two widgets or two elements we can say. So in Android, view can be any piece of code, or it can be a button or a text view. Any element that we can have, we can call it as a view. So we want to have a text view here, and then we want to have a button. I mean, this text view, whenever you create a Android project, by default, you will get that hello world application. So that we are going to remove it, and we can name it as the uh, subjects of fifth semester. So that will be my text view. And when I click on this button, then it should navigate from this current activity to the next activity. So that is the activity 2 we can say. So again, for that I need to create another Java class, and followed by that it will have a XML file. So in this list view is nothing but a menu we can say. Or like for example, in your Android phone, you might have seen like we'll be having our directory, I mean contacts, messages, all are nothing but all are the examples for the uh, menu items or the list views. So our objective is to, whenever I click on this button, it should go to the next activity. That is, it should connect from first activity to second activity, and here it should display a menu elements or the contents of the list view. So like you can see here, there is a activity A and activity B. So to connect from one activity to another activity, like in web application, to connect from one page to another page, we will provide some links. So whenever you click on that link, it will go to the that is when you provide that with a proper tag with a URL, it will go to the next page. Similarly here, we call in Android them as the activities. So when I click on this activity, it should go to the next activity, and for this we need some tool or some mechanism. That is what we call it as the intent. So intent basically connects multiple activities, that is from one activity to another activity. Again, in the intent we have two types of intents, that is the explicit intent and the implicit intent. And this intent has got some methods, like to start the activity or to bind the activities and so on. So we are going to use this intent, and we're going to use the start activity method that is provided in the intent, and with that we are going can pass the intent that we can create, and we can connect to the next activity. So in this next activity we need to design the list view. So This is the problem statement. So now when we want to design this, we are going to create a project, new project, Android project, and in that we are going to create a text view and then the button in the first activity, and in the second activity we are going to use a list view, and for that list view we are going to add some elements which will display the items. So this will be our designing part. Now let us go to the Android and let us create a assignment, or let us create an application. Now let us go to file and click on new project, and let us click on empty activity and say next, and here we'll provide the name. We can give this as lab term work 2. So this we call it as camel casing. That is, every first letter will start with a capital and so on. So lab term work 2, and the language will be Java itself, and say finish. Now you can see that the project has been created. Uh, by default, we'll have this main activity.java and also activity main.xml. So there is no code here. Only this. It is like whenever you create an project, it will be like a simple hello world project. So if you go to this activity main.xml and if you click on this code, there will be a by default code available for the text view, so like which will be having this hello world. So now we need to change this hello world, and we can give whatever heading we want for our application, that we can specify here. And one more important thing is we need to change this constraint layout to the uh, linear layout. So this part we can remove it and we can make it as the linear layout. Then everything will be settled here, and we'll remove this code. This is not required. So that's a layout width, layout height, and the text. So here we will change it to the as fifth semester subjects. So this is one way how we can design a text view or any widget you want to put on the activity. This is like coding, like you need to manually do it, or otherwise you can go to the designing page, and from here there are options available. You can just drag and drop it, and you can zoom it out here, and so you can see the test wig is appearing here. So but we want to put this into the at the center, so we have to use this tag, that is the gravity, so that we will use it now. So you can say Android gravity is equal to center, and instead of this text we will change it to GCC BCA, and then we can have this insert the text size. So you can say 30 dp, that is density pixels. And also the one more important thing is we have to give a ID for any element that you're going to put on the activity. So for that we can set it in the beginning, Android ID. So we should use this slash, I can say it as text view. So there can be a number of text views that can be present in this. So this is my first text view in my activity, so I will give it as the text view 1, and then just save the code. and this layout width and layout height we will set it to match parent. Otherwise it will like for example, if I go to the design, it will be still at the top. So if I want to put it at the center, I can just change this, like that is one way, that is by making changes here it can, we can see the reflections or the output we can see, or the otherwise, like you can click on this if you have multiple widgets on this or multiple animals, you can just click on this and we can make changes to this. Like I told you, like id we are changing, so either you can give the id from that, or you can, if I just remove this, okay, and if I control s save this, and if I go to code, this has been removed now. Okay, so either you can do by manually coding it, or by just go to design, and from this also you can write this. So I can say that text view and say control s, and now if you go to the code, now it has been appeared now. So there are multiple ways in which you can use this xml. So now I want to change this layout width, so I will change this to match parent. Similarly for this layout height, also I will change this to match parent. So this is the basic thing that you need to do first. If you go to the designing part, you can see that GCCB is BCA is appearing at the center. So our text view has been brought to the center now. Now according to this, if you go, I want to create a button as well. So I will go to this uh, activity main XML code, and at below this I'm going to create a button. So again I told you, you can do it manually, or if you want to be more make it more flexible, you can just go to design part, and here you have buttons. Just click on this, or this button you can just drag it and you can put it here. Okay, so your button will be appearing, but it is going this way because we have not set these attributes properly, so it is not appearing properly. So for that you can just uh, go to the code and you can make changes over this, and you can get this. So you can match parent, and this also you can make it as match parent. One more important change that we need to make is the gravity for the linear load. We have to keep it as center, and orientation also we need to keep it as vertical. And now let us take this button. So we'll include button here. So this we can keep it as wrap content. This is also actually not necessary, but still we'll keep this. Android gravity we can set. Layout gravity we can keep it as center, and keep Android gravity, just you can type G, you can get it as center, and then we'll keep Android text, you can type text here T. Under text you can keep it as fifth some subjects, which will appear on the button. And then one more important thing that we need to give is we need to give a unique ID for the button, so that if you have say multiple buttons, so which button we are referring to. So for that we need to have this ID. So ID, this is the syntax for @ plus ID, then we can say it as a click. So this will be our ID, and then we have to close the tag. So this is it. If you to go to the designing part, you can observe that uh, so we have created a activity. In that we have used two widgets, that is the text view and a button. So on the button it is appearing that fifth semester subject. So from here you can observe that, click on this, so you can see that ID, the text and everything. So you can set it either from the designing part or you can code it. So And one more thing is the layout width should be kept as wrap content, and layout height for the text viewer should be also as wrap content. Otherwise, it will go. For example, if you make this, for example, if I change this to match parent and similar to this as match parent, then the problem that occurs here is if you go to the designing part, uh, the button is not visible here because this entire text view is only is stretching itself and it is covering the entire part. So even if you click on this click button, which is appearing outside the boundary. So you should always remember that whenever you are using this text view and followed by some other widgets like button and other things, so you should keep this as wrap content. Now you see, go to designing part, and now if you see, again it will appear properly. So this one important thing you need to remember. Now before writing the code inside this, that is I want to write a code so that whenever I click on that button, it should go to the next activity. So before I do that, what we will do is we will create one more empty activity for the second one. So I will click on this Java and then right click. From here go to new and click on activity, and from here select the empty activity, and then it will ask for a name, so you can give this name as list view. Keep everything as it is, then say finish. Now this has created another activity, and followed by that it has created a XML file. So if you go to the designing part of this, it is empty now. So what we need to do is we need to create a list view here. Again, whenever this activity has been created, empty activity is created, you will get this by default code, and within this you need to write the code that you want to display. So for this, as we have designed a text view and button on this, what we have to do on this. So here if you go to the code, it is empty now. So our objective is to design a list view here. Again, list view can be designed in two ways. So by default, it is showing it as contents as the list view. The name, it is displaying it as the list view. So it is referring to this list view dot Java. So we need to create a list view here. So let us see how we can create a list view. So again, this is the constant layout. We need to change it. So we can change it from this, and we can make this as the linear layout. Then remaining thing will be as it is. And inside this, we are going to create the list view. So either you can use this tag list view. So like this also you can do, or otherwise you can go to the designing part, okay, and you can search it from the palette, okay. So go to palette, and here you can search for list view, so that will appear. So basically this list view will be present at the legacy. So if you click on legacy, you will get the list view, or otherwise you can search directly from the palette. So this list view is available, so I will just drag it and I will put it here. Okay, so if you observe this, this will be the list view. So here you can go on adding the elements or the items of your choice. So our objective is what, whenever I go to this activity main, and if I designing part, if I click on this, it should navigate from this button, I mean from this activity, it should basically go to this activity, and the contents I'm going to add should be displayed here. This is our objective. Now let us go to this coding part of for the main activity. So here I will create a variable for the button, like here I have this. And the important thing that we need to understand here is this is the main activity, that is the class, user defined class, and this is the main class, that is the app compact activity. So we are inheriting the features of this app compact activity. So all the methods and the other data members that are present in this can be inherited by this main activity. So this override indicates that basically, and one more important feature is in this Android is whenever we have this override or all these keywords, if you just hold the screen, you will get all the details of it. So if I just on this indicates that a method declaration is intended to override a method declaration the super type. So this override indicates that we are overriding the method that is being present in this app compact activity. So we are overriding the method of that. Now I want to make some events for that button. So I will first create the button object by using this class button. So I can say button B, okay, and then so in this, basically it is showing an error because we have not imported the required class for this. Some of the Android versions directly will take this button B, but some of them will not allow for this. So for that, we can use this import class. It automatically shows what mistake you are doing. And according to that, if you just use this Alt Shift Enter, it can resolve itself. So just Alt Shift Enter, and this class will be imported, that is android.widget.button. So now we have created the button, and now for this inside this on create method, I'm going to uh, create an event for this. So before to that, I need to fetch the id of the button. So the id of the button that you have declared here is, if I just go to the code, it is click. So that has to be fetched first. So I will use this here, and I can say that b is equal to, so find view by id. So this is a method which will allow us to get the id of that particular element or that particular visit. Okay, so we use basically find view by id, uh, and it will indicate that, and this should be followed by r dot, the moment you type r, this you will get it, r dot id dot uh, click. So and put a semicolon. So that means we need to fetch the element that we want to have in this particular main activities.java. And once we can get this ID of this particular widget, that is in our example, this is a button. And for this button, we are going to create a event. So for that, we are going to use this uh, button name that we have used here is, the reference is b dot set on click listener. And for this, we are going to pass the parameter as new view dot on click listener. So the moment you type this new view on click listener, it will automatically create a function that is on click. So this will be automatically generated. Now what this set on click listener will do. So let us keep a cursor on this, and it will show the meaning for you. So register a callback to be invoked when this view is clicked. So if this view is not clickable, it becomes a clickable. So that means whenever we want to create an event, I mean, when I press on this, it should listen to that. That means whenever I click on this button, it should be able to listen to my command. So set on click listener, new view dot on click listener. So I'm passing a function as an argument to this set on click listener. So this entire thing from here, new on click listener to this particular thing, I am passing it as a argument to this function that is set on click listener. Now inside this, once this code is get generated, what I need to do, so when I press on this button, it should go to the uh, next activity. So for using for next activity, what I want is, I want to create the intent. So by using the intent, I can connect to the next activity. So I will use this intent, and it has to be instantiated. So I will use intent I can give a name for this intent equal to new intent, and inside this I need to pass two argument, that is source comma destination. So this is just for your understanding. That means from which activity I need to move to the which activity. So from what is the source activity and what is the destination activity. So two parameters I need to pass into this. So what we can pass into this is, we say this, that is, we have this main activity dot this. Okay, that is, this is the source, and destination will be my list view dot class, and at the end put the semicolon. Now again there is an error, so let us check that. So import class, so again if you use this alt shift enter, it will import the respective class. So now this class been imported, that is android.content.intent. So this is what we call it as the intent. So that means this is the tool which will connect from one activity to another activity. So the moment you do this, it will give this package context. That means we have not yet used this, so it will appear in the gray color. So what we have done, we have created a uh, reference for the button. So button object we have created, and again some of them directly will appear, otherwise you can just click on alt shift enter, so that uh, class will be imported. And then followed by that, inside this set contents view, uh, on create method you need to use this object, that is b, and then find view by id. You need to get the id of that button, and we have given the id of the button as click. And once this we get it, we need to create this set on click listener. So when we invoke this button or when we click on this, it should listen to our command. And when we say view can be any element, so it can be a piece of text, or it can be a button, or it can be an image, and so on. So new instantiation will be created on click listener. So this uh, itself, I mean this function itself, we are passing it as a argument to this on click listener. And the moment you type this, it will automatically create a function, that is public void on click. This method will be automatically generated. So inside this you need to create the intent now. So instantiation we need to do for this intent I, or you can take intent, and then new intent, and it has got two parameters, that is source and the destination. So source is the main activity.java. So from this, that is main activity.this to list view. So we need to move to this activity, that is list view dot class. So this we need to do. And once this has been done, we are not yet completed with this. We need to start this now. So how we can, I mean, from where we need to start this? We need to start our activity from this current activity, that is main activity dot this, and we have stored it in this reference, that is I. So it has got a method, that is start activity, and we need to pass the variable, that is I. And so when we click on this button, uh, the activity will be starting from this. So this is the first part that we need to do. And this view is basically a super class of all the graphical user interface components, like all the buttons or widgets, everything that we have. So view is basically the superclass of all the graphical user interfaces. So now after this, we need to write the code for this listview.java. So what basically we need to do is we need to create an array, because we need to store the elements inside that array, and that has to be posted to the list view. So let us take that. So let us create an array list here. So you can say array list, and we will specify its data type as string, and followed by the array list variable, we can say it as the items. So what this array list is basically, array list is a dynamic data structure, we can say, where we can add the elements or we can remove the elements, and sequentially we can access them. So we can store data elements, or like the menu elements, like we can store for the subjects. In this example, we are considering the subjects. We can store, or we can store the fruits names or vegetable names, all those things, whatever we want to store it, will be storing in this array list, and we are providing the data type for this as the string. So basically array list, if you put the cursor on this, it is basically implements list interface. So if you go to this java.util.list, so it will be implemented from this. So our list is basically implements this list interface, and once we create this, we can add, and it provides some methods so that we can add the values into that. So that can be also done now. So before this, as we have created in this main activity.java, before as in this case we have initially fetched the id of this button. Similarly, we are going to do the same operation for the another widget, that is the list view. So we'll go to this option, and here we can see that we can create a list view. So for this, uh, basically we need to create this object. So this can be done by using this android dot widgets dot list view. So it will be important from this, and we need to create a variable for this, and we will give our variable as list view 1. So this will be our variable, or you can keep a capital letter for this. So android.widget.listView of list view. So we are taking it or importing from this. That means list view will be present at the android.widgets. So from this, we are creating this variable. And now for this list v1, as we have created for the button b, we have created. Similarly, we have created android.widgets.listView space list v1. So this will be our list view variable. And for this, we are going to assign, or we're going to find this by id. So we can say that list v1 is equal to android dot widgets dot list view, followed by, again we are going to use this same method, that is find view by id, and followed by this r dot id dot the name. And what name we had given, we have given the name as list. So, or otherwise you can check from this, and whatever is the name that we have given. So if you go to this code, for the list view, we have not yet given any name. So it's better we go to the design part and we can give a name for it. So give a name as list, and if you go to the code now, it is available list. So the same thing we are going to give it here. So r.id.list. So now it will automatically appear, and put the semicolon. Now, once this is done, the next objective is to add the elements to this array list that we have created. Okay, so let us do that. So we'll create items for the list view. So our variable for the array list is items. So items on new array list of string. So the data type is string here. So or otherwise we can use the add method, or this can be also done in this way as well. String str equal to abc, like this also we can add the elements to it, and we can refer it later on. The string class represents the character strings. All string literals in Java programs such as abc are implemented as instances of this class. So we are creating a new instance here, and for this it provides the method. So what methods we can have is items dot add, and then we can add the subjects. So we can say software testing, and similarly we can add the other elements as well. So items dot add. Now we have added all the elements to it. Now this we have just added to the array list, but array list cannot be displayed on the list view automatically directly. Like if I take this list view uh, variable list view 1, and if I try to use this add, so there is no add method for the list view 1. So for that we have a special technique that we need to use, that we call it as the array adapter. So what this array adapter will do, let us take that code and let us study that. And as you all know that it consists of lot of classes and objects and packages. So it's better always to refer to this developer.android.com, where you'll get all the documentations of all the elements that you're going to use, or all the classes that will be using it. The same thing you can use it for the Java docs. So where you'll get all the elements. So what this adapter class will do basically is it acts like a bridge. So whenever we are using this, so you can use this adapter to provide views for an adapter view. So view can be, for example, they are given a list view. So view can be anything. As I said, it can be any widget like a button or an image, anything. So we can use this adapter, and it acts like a bridge that connects the UI components. So and adapter pulls the data content from the disk source like a array or a database. So also we can use this array adapter for the displaying the contents from one activity to another activity when we connect to the database. In that case also it can be used. So adapter holds the data and send it to the adapter view. So this what this adapter will do, and the view can display the data. So basically we are combining this data that is being present at the adapter, and then we send it to the adapter view, and this view can display the elements or the contents of that array. So if you go to the syntax of it, you can easily get the syntax. So here are these syntaxes for this. Create this array adapter, and we need to create a object for this. So array adapter, and we will specify the type as string, and then we need to create the object for this. I can say it as items adapter. You can give any name for that matter, equal to, so new array adapter, And inside this we need to pass the arguments. The arguments will be again two, that is android dot r dot layout, followed by layout dot, you need to use this simple list item 1, and then followed by this you need to give dot, followed by the, here you need to write items and put the semicolon. So once this is done, now you can see here the meaning. So you can use this adapter to provide views for an adapter view, returns a view for each objects in a collection of data objects. So it acts like a bridge for the UI components. So directly you cannot display the elements that we added like the subject names. So for that you use this array adapter, and you need to create an instantiation for this. And here followed by this you need to give it as android dot layout dot simple list one. So what this simple list one basically is all about is, we have two things here, simple list one and simple list items two. So simple list item one will create one text view, and if you use simple list item two, it will create two text views, but we want only one text view. So for that we use this simple list item one. So if you want to know more details about it, just press the control, and you can underline this and you can click on this. So it will go to this simplest item1.xml. Here you can see the code. So it is going to create only one text view. Okay, but if you use simple list item 2, then it is going to create two text views. So we want only one text view, so that will be sufficient for us. And finally we need to use this list view 1 dot set adapter, and then we need to pass this object, that is items adapter. So what this basically does is, if you can observe here, so sets the data behind this list view. So whatever the data elements that we have created, that has to be attached to this items adapter, because items adapter is going to take the contents and it is going to be displayed on that list view. So for that, where we are going to do this, we are going to do this for the list view one. So for this we want to send the data. So list view one dot set adapter of this object will contain all the data elements, and that has to be passed to this. So depending on the list view features currently in use, for instance, adding headers or footers will cause the adapter to be wrapped. So this parameters the list adapter, which is responsible for maintaining the data backing this list and for producing a view to represent an item in that data set. So we can use this set adapter so that the data that we have added will be passed to the uh, list view, and we can display the values. So here there is a small mistake here, so this we need to type it as this, then the error has been removed now, so it has to be this dot android dot r dot layer. So this is all about the coding that you need to do. So the code, if you observe it once or twice, if you practice, it is very easy. Now let us run this and let us check whether we are able to execute this program or no. So you can go to the main activity and you can click on this run so that you can run this. So here you can see that the app has been created, and when you click on this button, it should display the list view. So this is what we have as a second assignment. Very simple, The only thing is you need to create a one more activity. So to connect the activity, we can have this intent. So if you click on this, you can observe that we can go to this. Okay, but there is no back button here. So we can also provide a back button for this. And if you provide that, again, you can go back to the back button so that you can try it as a assignment. So I hope this is clear to you. You can watch it once or twice and you can easily execute this. That's all we have in this session. Thank you.